This is Brad from Pro Wrestling Junkies, and welcome to another episode of Getting to Know a Junkie. Today's junkie grew up in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and his name is Richie Barna. Richie, how are you?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing fine today. So we were talking. You were born in Pennsylvania, moved to Green Bay. Why did you guys make the move? I'm guessing you didn't make the decision?
Yeah, no, my dad, I was in first grade. My dad, he worked at P&G and they opened another plant in Green Bay, so we moved from Pennsylvania to Wisconsin.
Do you remember being looking forward to that or being upset about it?
Not really, because at the time I didn't really care. We moved to Missouri when I was going in 9th grade, so I was very upset about that.
Oh my gosh. Was that for your parents' work as well?
Yeah, they opened a new plant, and so my dad was the manager at that plant, so he kind of got a promotion, so we went from Green Bay to Jackson, Missouri. So that I was very upset about, yeah.
Jeez. Okay, so do you have any, Facebook doesn't count, Facebook friends doesn't count. Do you keep in touch with anyone from when you lived in Pennsylvania for those, 6 years, 7 years?
No, other than a couple family members, I don't. From Pennsylvania, quite a bit from Wisconsin, yeah. But
okay, so you never go back to visit Pennsylvania?
No, not unless something happens with a family member or something. But no.
You might be about to get stabbed. I saw someone came. I don't know if they were up to no good.
What do you need, buddy? What? Yes, take my phone. Go play. Sorry.
I don't care. You'll probably hear one of mine knocking on the door any minute. Okay, so if someone said, "Hey, where are you from?" What's your quick answer? Green Bay?
Green Bay, yeah.
Okay. So where are you now, though?
Georgia.
Now, was that by your choice?
Yeah. I moved here in 2004. My biological father lives here.
Okay.
And when I was 18, I didn't know him growing up. And then when I was 18, he wanted...
of him?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I was 5, my dad, who's not my biological father, but he legally adopted me. So legally he is my dad, but I call him my dad. My biological dad lived here, and I was 18, and Jackson, Missouri kind of sucks. And so he was like, hey, you want to come down here and live with me, and, we can try and start a relationship, which didn't really happen, but so I did that, yeah.
Was your mom upset?
Yes.
That you were going to go live with him?
Yeah, she wasn't happy. So shortly after my high school graduation, I guess it was a year later, I moved down here after I graduated high school.
Okay. Would you do it again?
Yeah, just based on what has happened to me. I got, met my wife and have kids, so yeah. Yes, but yeah.
So but if you wouldn't end up with them, so that's the big prize, anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've heard about there's a pandemic going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, has that affected your occupation?
Not me particularly. My wife, yes. Not near as bad as a lot of people. Last year was a rough year for me, so I lost my job, not due to the pandemic, but it was just medical reasons.
Okay.
But I got a new job. I started in January, so it's actually worked out nice.
Better job?
Oh yeah, it's a lot better, and it's less work, more money, better company, so it's...
Yeah, that checks all the boxes.
Yeah.
When you're looking for a good job. So you like it there? The company treats its employees pretty well?
Yeah, it's actually it's almost too good to be true, really.
Hmm.
So it's one of those things like I don't generally have very good luck, but
Hmm.
this job has been really more than anything that I could ask for. They're very family oriented, where it's you have a life outside. If you're happy in your home life, it means you're gonna do better work for us. So it's like if we're doing something and it's almost 4 o'clock, it's like, oh, we're not gonna do that now because it's four. We're done. That's it. We're gone.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's nice. I guess like everyone would want that out of an employer. So that's
Hmm.
great. Are you sure everything seems so good to be true? Are you
Yeah.
sure that they're not doing something behind the scenes, like to take over the world or do something terrible?
No, it's such a weird thing. Like I said, you wouldn't really expect the company to be as great as it is, really. I mean, um, like my kids go to school, so we recently moved. So we didn't want to switch the kids' school in the middle of the year, so we're driving them back and forth. So the company's like, we know that it's cool when you got to go pick up the kids or drop
Oh,
them
that's
off or
awesome.
whatever. So just go. And so like in the middle of the day, I leave at like 1:45 to go pick up the kids, bring them home, and then
Can you
so
work from home the rest of the day, or are
yeah,
you done?
yeah. No, I usually work for like an hour and a half from home after
Yeah.
that, and then we're done for the day. So
That is awesome that you don't have to
yeah,
like repeatedly go to like your
yeah,
boss and say, "Hey, I got to pick up my kids today." My
yeah.
wife
No,
can't or someone can't.
yep, it's incredible.
So the town you're living in now, how big is it
It's a,
population wise?
I mean, it's a pretty big town. I technically I live in Akron, but I'm still in Cobb County, Georgia. So,
Oh,
um,
isn't that where Big Boss Man used to work or
yeah,
from?
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
He worked at the jail in Marietta, so it's like 15 minutes away.
okay.
Scott Steiner owns the Shoney's up the street from me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Did
it's
you ever
pretty
see him in
cool.
there?
I haven't seen him in the restaurant itself, but years ago I used to manage the Wendy's up there, and I've
Okay.
seen him a couple times through the drive-through in there. So
Oh, really?
yeah, it's pretty cool. They used to host like a lot of the sports bars here used to host pay-per-view events.
Uh
So
huh.
you would go, and sometimes you'd see like one time we saw Big Papa Pump. Buff Bagwell was there.
Oh, wow.
Um, he's not a nice person. And you see wrestlers occasionally because um Atlanta and WCW, with people living here, they
Sure.
never left. So it's actually pretty cool.
What's the closest like major city?
um I mean, Atlanta's like 15 minutes away, so
Oh, okay.
yeah,
So
so it's
when like WWE would come through, you would see shows in Atlanta.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. Um, so what's like a typical weekend for you? I saw that you mentioned you have kids and a wife. Is it
Hmm.
attending to them? Is that your weekend?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, yeah. Usually um it's it used to be, sports for the boys. My daughter's a dancer, so dance for her,
Oh,
cheerleading or something like that for them. But this past year, obviously not that much of that.
sure.
Um, but a lot of the weekends we usually just hang out. I paint. My son paints with me. My other son just likes to play video games all day.
Nice.
So that's basically, we don't really do a bunch of things.
Yeah, yeah. It's hour to hour
Yeah,
and
yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
activity to activity
yeah.
till it's bedtime. How old's your oldest?
14.
And that's the dancer.
Yeah, she's four. My daughter's 14, and my sons are 8 and 7.
What kind of dance does she do?
Uh, Usually it's like a combination: ballet, tap, hip hop,
Oh, cool.
that kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, hit me up in a few years because my wife's the assistant director of the dance department at University of Illinois. So
Oh wow,
keep in touch
wow,
for
that's
sure
awesome.
about that. Um, So you mentioned painting. How long have you been doing that for?
Um, Years. I don't paint like paintings or on canvas usually.
Uh-huh.
I usually do like action figures or pops or stuff like that. So
Oh, awesome.
yeah.
How long does one pop take you, or does it vary from like
Yeah.
details?
It totally depends. When I do it though, I usually don't do just like a straight repaint of something. I usually like add stuff or mold stuff, and um I try to make them as unique as I can. So
Mm-hmm.
it just depends.
So do you remember do you have the first thing you did?
The first pop that I painted I do still have. And it's funny to see like how far you've come. I know that at my parents' house there's some action figures that I had painted years ago, so I next time I go there I want to see those. So
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun to line up everything and see your
mhm,
progression. Is this something that is a good outlet for your
yeah.
creativity?
Oh yeah.
How long? So that first one, for example, how long did it take you, start to finish?
I think in the beginning it took a lot longer um because I just I usually hate everything I do anyway, so
Mhm.
I end up painting something and then taking it off and then painting it again, or and then realizing that I liked it better before,
Eh,
or um while I'm doing something I'll get an idea for something else and then I'll stop in the middle. I have just boxes of things that are halfway done and
so, and do you
parts
have tons of
taken.
supplies on hand?
Yeah, I've it's almost become like its own as far as like weapons and things like that as like accessories, like
Uh,
those have become almost their own collection of
oh,
things.
really?
Yeah, it's like an I call it like an incidental collection. So
So when you say to your wife, "I'm going to go work on this now," how long are you going to work on this stuff for? Does she give you like
sometimes it'll
time
be
away?
you have like an hour or um a lot of the times I do it at night. I just wait till everybody goes to bed and then
Sure.
um I just go down and do it, or I usually get up earlier than everybody else, so I'll go down in the basement and do whatever, and then
Oh, okay. Those moments I call the best part of my day
yeah,
when everyone
yeah,
goes to sleep
they
before
are,
everyone
yeah,
wakes up.
yeah, really.
So where do you keep everything?
Um, our old house was a lot smaller, so a lot of our stuff was in storage, so most
Sure.
of my collection was in the storage unit, but now, with the basement, I have this room is mine, so um all of my toys are here and then I have back there is like my painting stuff and we're still trying to we went to IKEA last week, so I'm trying to get some decent storage that looks nicer than the crap that I had it in before.
You need to skip doing that. Head over to Home Depot and invest in some locks on the door to this downstairs area.
Oh, I did. I legit like 2 days ago. I put a key lock on the
Oh,
basement door
nice.
because my son, like I said, he likes to paint too, but he's real sneaky. So he comes down and tries to, take my stuff and paint, and
Oh,
so
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Because you do have to leave the house at some point,
yeah. That's the thing.
during
Yeah,
those times.
yep.
Um, does do your kids watch wrestling?
My daughter used to, and then she kind of like grew out of it because she grew out of everything. She's too good for everything right
Sure,
now.
of course, of course.
My youngest son, he watches with me a lot.
Oh,
So
and does your wife object to that?
no, she doesn't care. She'll watch it with me. She used
Mhm.
to go. I mean, every show I've been to since I met her, we've gone together.
Oh, okay.
And so not so much anymore. She doesn't watch, but a lot of the times I watch. Like I just record them, so
Hmm.
um I watch them at random times
Yeah,
or
you're not sitting down,
yeah.
to watch Monday Night Raw every Monday night and all.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
it's DVR.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, was your wife a wrestling fan prior to meeting you?
Not so much a fan. In high school, she was a wrestlerette for Harrison, so she I don't really they did like got the guys water and stuff like that. And since we were so close, like she would tell me stories about how because Cody wrestled in Marietta. And
Mm-hmm.
so she'd see Cody and Dusty and a
Oh,
lot of the guys there. But to her, she wasn't really a fan, so it wasn't as big of a deal as it is
yeah,
to me.
yeah.
And
It'd be
I
like if you
didn't,
or I saw an author. You know
yeah,
what
and
I mean?
I'm just
Like,
like, oh my God, like if we had known each other then, you know. But to her, she didn't, she'd be like, oh, I remember when Cody was, you know, wrestling for Pope or whatever.
yeah,
So
ho hum.
yeah, yeah, basically.
Did when did you start watching it?
Uh, I was little. My grandfather used to watch it.
Awesome.
I want to say 4 or 5.
Oh,
Um,
that's
so
cool.
it's been a really long time.
So
Uh,
your grandfather got you into it?
yeah, yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah,
Did you have a good relationship with him? A close
yeah,
relationship?
yeah. And then it was tough because when I was little, everybody lived really close to each other, and then we
Uh-huh.
moved. So
Oh yeah.
moving like in Wisconsin, none of my family lives there. So
Hmm.
um it was tough. And when I moved from Missouri to here, realistically wrestling was what got me friends. Like that was what we bonded over. I started working at Old Navy
Uh-huh.
as like a part-time thing. And
Uh-huh.
one night I made friends with one of my coworkers, and then one day they were talking about they were gonna go to Hooters to watch I think Royal Rumble, I believe. And I'm like,
Oh,
oh my God, you guys are wrestling
yeah,
fans? It's
totally.
crazy. Like, and so I ended up going. And then, I mean, we're still really close group of friends now.
That's great that you didn't have to hide that you were a wrestling fan and kind of
Yeah.
wait to get a cue from them if they like wrestling or not. That's awesome. You get your answer
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah. One of
Um,
my buddies is in the group.
oh,
Uh,
really?
yeah. He's on the page a lot. So,
Um, do you have a relationship with your biological father's parents? Or did you have any relationship with them?
growing up legally, they weren't allowed to contact me. And
Uh-huh.
so, I do now. I actually have a better relationship with them than I do my biological dad. So, my grandfather passed away last year.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Year, was it last year?
It's
It
weird
was
because
last year or the year
2020 was
before. 'Cause yeah, it seems like it was so long ago, but yeah,
uh-huh.
I guess it was 2019. Yeah,
Okay.
so
Um, let me ask you, this might be a touchy subject. You come home from work.
mhm,
Who's in charge of preparing dinner?
me.
You're responsible for that.
Yeah,
And every night it's not like who's cooking tonight. That's your thing.
yeah, yeah.
Um, who's responsible for doing laundry, especially with that many children?
It's more of a team thing. We try
Okay.
my a lot of times my daughter will do I just hate putting the stuff away, so I'll fold it. I don't care about putting it in, getting it all clean and folding it.
Yeah.
And then but it's a team effort. I think my daughter does hers. She used to try and do all of ours, but my son seemed to change clothes like 52 times a day. So,
Yeah, totally. We get
um,
that too.
yeah, but that I mean, it's a good team thing.
Is there an allowance system that you've put into place with these children?
We I used to not want to do that, and
Mm-hmm.
then we tried to do it for a while, and then we all kind of got a little lazy with it, but we've in the past like 6 months we've done like a point system to
Okay.
say like, okay, you know, what do you want? You've got to earn X amount of points for
Mm-hmm.
that. And so we've done
Oh.
that, and that seems to be working out.
Oh, cool.
And then
Keeps
when
them
they
motivated.
yeah, and then when they do something, I'm like, oh, I'll give you a point for that. Or I'll say, I'll give you a point if you do whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Um, Now, what's the worst thing you've had to punish one of your children for doing?
Um,
Have you ever caught your daughter smoking pot?
no, I have not, and
Good.
I would not be happy. She
But she's only
wanted,
14.
yeah, she
That's Drew
wanted to
Barrymore
vape.
territory.
Yeah, right. She wanted to vape, and I said no.
Wait,
Uh,
vape like the tobacco?
yeah, like the
Okay.
pen, and
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
a lot of her friends do, and I told her it's just not a good idea, like to start. She's too young, I think, and um,
Do her friends drink coffee
I
too?
don't think so. Coffee's always one of those things. It's almost like just doing it to be trendy for her.
Yeah, or an adult.
Yeah, and I don't. I'm not a. I don't. We don't really drink coffee, so I don't think for her it's that big of a deal.
Okay, okay.
So, I'm more of a soda guy because we don't drink alcohol either. So
Oh, nice.
it's um.
So it's
I mean,
not
we
she's not in
used
an
to, but
environment where she'd be like, "Oh,
yeah,
I gotta
yeah,
get my hands on that."
yeah. So I mean, it's not like we're against it for like
Yeah,
any
yeah.
reason. We used to drink, but I just not something that we have interest in now. So,
Yeah, yeah. Um, so what was the last vacation Richie Barna took the Barna family on?
oh God, that's tough because we always fall into the trap of like, if we're gonna go on vacation, like my parents always get pissed off if we don't come there. Like if
Oh
we have time,
yeah.
so it's like it usually. I think the last time we went somewhere was November. It was Thanksgiving 2019. We went to my parents' house.
Uh-huh.
But before that, it was a couple years ago. We took the kids to Disney, and
Is that
then
crazy expensive?
it really was, yeah. We got really lucky though. My brother-in-law had a timeshare in Florida, like right in Orlando, so he
Oh,
let us use that week. So we actually saved a ton of money
oh
doing that.
yeah.
So yeah,
Hundreds of dollars a day,
yeah, and it
probably.
was yeah, it was such a nice place too, and like it was
That's great.
amazing. Yeah.
Um, okay, another one going back. What was your all-time favorite job?
My favorite job was I worked at a law firm doing legal research
Okay.
for a lawyer who was one of my buddies, and he hired me to help him do cases and stuff, and I that was my favorite because I've always wanted to go to law school,
Mm-hmm.
and so it was that was exciting for me. It's boring as hell for most people, but I thought it was fun, and I got like special privileges at Cherokee County Jail, so I could go in and interview the inmates and stuff like that. So
Oh, really?
yeah, so to me it was very exciting. It was awesome, but
Have you ever been detained for any reason?
yeah, I have. I got arrested years ago, 2007, I think, because I it was before they started electronically putting insurance in the computer, and
Yeah.
so I didn't have the insurance card, so they didn't have to, but they did, like jerks, and took me to jail. And so I spent the night in jail until my the next morning when my wife could bring up the insurance card to show them, and
Did
then they
she
released me.
did she know where you were?
Yeah,
Like where she was
yeah.
like staying up? Like where did he hasn't come home?
Yeah, I called her from inside because there was a phone so you could call out. So I called her and she had to get the insurance, and then it was actually really expensive because they impounded my car for the night. So I had to pay for that even though I had insurance and we just
Oh
had to
my
prove
god.
it. Yeah, it was a pain in the ass, and I had to call my boss and all. It was
While you were in jail, did anyone ask you to kill somebody else in one of the cells?
no.
Okay. Phew. All right, that's good to know. This room, this downstairs, I see a wall. And it looks like there's things lined up and stacked. What is that I'm seeing?
I have all of my like I don't know.
Holy
Well,
smokes!
This is just my collection room / office. So
Holy shit. Okay, so you
yeah.
moved recently, you said, right?
Yeah.
How long did it take for you to set this up?
It's still an ongoing process, and I I frequently move stuff around myself, so I'll
Mm-hmm.
get like bored with a shelf being there, what's on it. So
Yeah,
I move stuff a lot. Um,
you maintain it.
but I think to this point, it took a couple of months just to get to where I'm at, and then if I get something new, and then I gotta move a whole shelf just because of one piece or some, I have issues.
Did you have to bring in special shelving? Was there any
Oh
built-in shelving down there when
no,
you moved
all
in?
these shelves are mine.
Okay.
We were originally gonna wait and drywall down here, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want everything in boxes somewhere, and it was because at first I didn't put anything out for probably the first 2 months that we lived here.
Oh, okay.
Um, I didn't. We were gonna, like I said, do drywall and carpet and everything, and try and make it look really nice. But it was driving me insane not to have like a space, and I didn't have any of my paint stuff out. So finally, I was like, screw it. I don't care if we end up doing drywall. Great. If not, the walls are pretty much covered anyways. So, but yeah,
Now,
that's a process.
I imagine what I've seen, what you showed me. Uh, there's been an investment of a pretty penny.
Hmm.
Okay. Does your wife object to that at all?
It's not her favorite thing. She's not really much of a collector.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the pieces I've gotten are either I got on trade or um I sell a lot of stuff too. So to fund my collection is usually just me buying a toy and then flipping it quickly, and then
Oh,
I use that money to buy other stuff. So
okay, that makes
I
sense.
I generally try not to take money out of like our paychecks to pay for a toy.
Yeah, so you kind of like things pay for themselves.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
That makes sense. Um, so yeah, I know 2020 was, a wash, but what was the last show you've been to?
Oh God, it's been forever. Other than like local shows, it's like an actual show. It's
Hmm.
been years.
Okay.
Um, I want to
Any of
say
your kids?
the last time was probably Mania when it was here. Yeah,
Oh, did your
yeah,
wife go with you?
yeah. She did. We went.
Children?
Um, no, the kids didn't go. It
Okay.
was me, my wife, and my buddy Philip, who's in the group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we went to
Now,
Mania here.
did you have to get a hotel room, I imagine?
No, because it was just in Atlanta, so we just
Oh,
rode.
that's right. That's the best part. Was
Hmm.
there like a fan fest?
I don't think they did it. I think
Hmm.
this was before we went to that. I was supposed to go to a Dynamite last year with Philip, but I had just gotten out of the hospital, and so I couldn't go. Like it was ill advised for me to go with
What were
him.
you in the hospital for?
Last year I was in the hospital almost all year.
Why? What?
It was
Can
like
you talk about
four.
that?
Well, I have Crohn's disease, so
Okay.
I got really sick with it, and then I ended up having 4 surgeries last year. I lost a ton of weight. I was down to like 105,
Oh my
like a
God.
bunch of different times, and um, then they ended up putting like an ostomy bag in,
Mhm.
and that was just like that was actually literally killing me because it was just dehydrating me, and then
Oh yeah.
like abscesses and all of the basically all of the oh this could happen but never does kind of stuff that
Uh
happened
huh.
to me last year. So
Yeah, of course.
it was, I mean, it was a bunch of times I was in there for 3 weeks at a time, and
How did your kids handle it?
not very well. I mean, a
I
lot better
imagine.
than you'd think, but it wasn't. it was really bad for them. And I think that the only reason that really it was like as easy as it was because of like the pandemic, because they were home with my wife and she was home. So it wasn't like they had to go to school and worry all
Yeah.
day. Like I was able to talk to them during the day or FaceTime them or
Could they
whatever.
visit?
No, I didn't have any visitors at all. So
Was
that
that
was the
because of
worst.
COVID,
Yeah.
things in place?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
That was the worst part. Yeah.
did it feel like you were in jail? Like, could you get up and walk around? Or are you
Yeah,
like,
um I could. For a lot of the time I was too sick really to get up and walk
mm,
around, but like when it was like in the days before I'd get released, like you could go in the hallway and walk around, but I had like so many machines and shit that I had to carry that I was like, nah, I'm not doing that.
yeah, I'll just sit here? Or,
Yeah,
oh my God. But so when was the last time you were in the hospital?
November.
And are you superstitious?
A little bit.
Okay, then I'm not gonna ask my next question.
No, go ahead. You're good.
Oh, like, are you headed on the right path health wise?
Yeah, I think
According to
so.
doctors?
Yeah, I'm so much better than I was. Like I've
Okay.
gained like 35 pounds and um I can actually eat now. I'm not in excruciating pain all the time. So
So you can eat. Were you nervous like coming out of the hospital the last time and like
mhm,
just like where did you feel like you were waiting for the next bad thing to happen?
pretty much, yeah.
Okay. But you're home now. Your kids must feel relieved. It's
Yeah.
easier on your wife, so because I imagine she had to do the mom and
Oh yeah.
dad stuff most
Yeah.
of the time. Oh,
Mhm.
okay, she's great. You should send her on a nice
Yeah.
vacation. She
Oh yeah.
deserves it
Yeah.
for handling that. So you feel good?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to ask you some wrestling specific questions if you don't mind.
Uh-huh.
Who is your favorite wrestler of all time, and who is your favorite right now?
All time Bret Hart. Um right now just really like the Miz, and I've liked him for a long time, and I know a lot of people hate on him, but
Uh,
I just think the dude is fantastic.
I used to hate him, but whatever is 10 plus years later,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of proved that, okay, he's not
Yeah.
an MTV person. That
Yep.
it's
Yep.
like he's a
Exactly.
legit like
Yeah.
wrestler.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what about what was the best show you went to? Was it Mania?
Yeah. Just because it was, I don't think I'll ever, unless it's here, go to another Mania, and just the excitement behind it was just so incredible, and we had such a good time.
Did you have good seats?
They were decent. I wanted to try and sneak down lower, but
Yeah.
we didn't end up doing that. But we it was good. I mean, I've
You
had
could
worse
see
seats.
from every seat.
Yeah,
Like you could
yeah,
see. Did it feel like there were tons of people there?
yeah. It was crazy.
So like
Yeah.
if you wanted to go get like a Coke or something, walk out,
Mhm.
it's packed there.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Because when I went to Mania, they had it at Allstate Arena, right outside of Chicago, and it only holds like 15,000 people.
yeah.
So it was no different than like I went to see Raw there or something,
Mhm. Yeah.
And do you plan on whenever things get normal again, going to shows?
I really want to go to a show, and my son really wants to go.
Mhm.
So I'm hoping that the next time like Raw comes or SmackDown, we can make it. Um, and I think even if it's like really crappy seats, I'm still gonna try and go and have a good time with it. So
Okay. Um, I'd like to ask you three random questions. Are
mhm.
you okay with that?
Yeah, yeah.
First one is, Would you rather be reincarnated as a goldfish or a tree?
Tree.
Okay. Would you rather pick your enemy's coffin or dig their grave?
Coffin.
Nice. And finally, would you rather eat snake skin, when they shed, or cobwebs?
Skin.
Yeah, 3 for 3. You did
Yeah.
great. You passed. You should go celebrate now, when you get out. All right. Well, obviously, now we have to set a date for show and tell, because I'm quite curious to get closer to that stuff. All right. Well, it was great having you on. Of course, I'll interact with you online as we all do.
Yes,
it was funny. I was telling my wife the other day, I'm like, in a year where there was limited, social contact, in a year where I moved to this town where I know nobody, I actually finished in the black with friends. I made more friends than anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been great. So I will definitely see you around, and we'll schedule a show and tell.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
All right, Richie, you take care. Have a good rest of your Sunday, and we'll talk soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, man.
My pleasure.
All right.